Pull the Rope by Ibibio Sound Machine, which was Karl's selection.
Yeah, so Ibibio Sound Machine, and I've kind of followed for quite a while now. First heard them through their debut album track Let's Dance, which if you've not heard that song, definitely go back and check it out. Again, like perfect for this time of year. I can't even remember how I heard it. I think it was just one that maybe Apple recommended to me, and I was like, "Oh, holy shit, what is this? Give me more of this." Um, so yeah, love that song. I don't think I dug much further into their catalog at that point. It wasn't until I saw them at live at Leeds Fest in 2018, and they were just absolutely sensational. So just an amazing, amazing festival band, amazing live band. And after that, I kind of went back to their first two albums, and then have followed every release since that. They've also played like Lost Village a couple of times too. But yeah, can't recommend kind of seeing them, at a festival or live if you ever get a chance, because it is just another level. But yeah, I would say up to now, like their albums front to back maybe haven't always gripped me like their live show has. Mentioned back in November, the ill-fated Crystal Fighters record. But yeah, Crystal Fighters were another band, fantastic. I think they're fantastic live, but Crystal Fighters, a lot of their studio output I actively disliked. So I think Ibibio, they aren't quite that level, but a similar case where their albums I usually play through a couple of times, enjoy them, but maybe rarely revisit the full album. Usually, there's a few singles on there that I'll go back to. And yeah, I think their last album was a good example of that. Some great tracks on there. Protection from Evil, sorry. Electricity, 17, 18, 19, as in that's the track name, not the numbers of the tracks. And yeah, produced by Hot Chip as well, that record. So some great moments on there, but I think overall it was just maybe a little too long. But yeah, with this new record, I think they may have finally won me over with a full album. It's one of those where there's not really a duff track on here. It's a tight 37 minutes, so it's their shortest album to date as well. Doesn't overstay its welcome, and I just think it's got some of their best songs on here. Pull the Rope, the title track. It's just this like fun house of like wild synths, brass horns coming in. Just a really fun way to start the record. Particularly that back half of that song where it really comes alive. It'll be one of those where at the start you'll be like, okay, this is a little bit annoying, and then by the end of it you'll be fully into it. Okay, it kind of wins you round straight away. Got to Be Who You Are. Love the kind of soulfulness of that track. Love the bassy synths on there as well. Political incorrect, I think, is great. Going back to the Arab Strap, it's also anti-social media. The line on there, we don't talk anymore, we're like zombies, shadows on a screen. So yeah, you've got this like cutting commentary mixed in with like this funky beat, some really like dazzling electronics going on. And then the final stretch is where my favorite stuff is. Mama Say, I thought was the standout of the pre-release singles, and I think it's still just super catchy, great melody to it, just everything you want from a single. Just really brilliant. And then straight after that, you've got Touch the Ceiling, which is unlike any other track on here. It's like this haunting, quite minimal ambient track. You've just got Eno Williams' like voice, which is just the star of the show of the track. Again, it's like, I think it stands out because it really is like a real minimal moment in an album full of like these maximum volume instrumentations going on. And then yeah, Far Away straight after, awesome psych funk guitars going on and that, and then Dance in the Rain I think finishes off quite an awesome record. I think it's one of those where, like I say, there's not really a bad track, and I think all the issues I've had with the previous albums they've kind of solved it with this one. You know, no wasted moments. It doesn't go on too long, and yeah, it's just a blast from start to finish. So, and like the Flaming Ghosts one, it is made for this time of year as well. So, yeah, just a really fun listen, and for me, this is their best one to date.
Kylie, did you also enjoy Pull the Rope?
Yeah, I did. I think it's interesting to hear that this is one that Karl has a lot of experience with, whereas, you know, I came into Ibibio Sound Machine with Electricity just a couple of years ago. An album that I agree is a little bit long, but it's interesting to listen to Pull the Rope, knowing that the last one was produced by Hot Chip. And while listening to Pull the Rope, like the things that I was missing, I guess, are more Hot Chip influenced from Electricity. You know, I don't think this one is as immediately catchy to me, but overall, it is like the Flaming Ghosts record, where I'm just putting it on, you know, usually weekend mornings, that kind of thing, and just letting it go. You know, Gotta Be Who You Are, Mama Say, Let My Yes Be My Yes, that stuff is, I mean, fire. I really like this record. I'm like, Touch the Ceiling and Far Away and Dance in the Rain, like, just, you know, it peters out for me. So like, I don't know. I would give this like a 78%. Now that we're doing percentages on here, I would give it a 78%. Really do like it, and it is one that I have continued to listen to. I know we're talking about the past with these records, but it is one that has made the jump into the next month, that I'm continuing to just let it develop. And you know, who knows if it makes like the year-end list, could have something completely different to say about it by then. So yeah, I mean, as a second impression of this band, really dig it, and definitely top of my list of if they ever come this way, definitely getting the ticket and going to see them to really get that experience.
I give a rating to each of the albums. Mine's 7.8 out of 10. So yeah, it might be different how we kind of convey that and how that feels to us, but certainly where I landed. So yeah, which is weird. Yeah, I don't usually share the ratings I give, but on this occasion it feels right. So yeah, I just a fun summer record. You know, they're a band who I've seen on many festival lineups. I might have seen bits of, but never actually, you know, gone out to see them. I suppose the last one I can think of was on one of the main roads in Oxford, where there's lots of venues, and they had a day-long festival there. And I think I remember them being on the lineup, and I might have caught a bit of their set and thinking, this is quite lively, this is quite good fun. But at the time I wasn't specifically seeking them out. So they've always been kind of on the radar, but without ever diving in. And yeah, like this it's the right time of year, basically, like a few of the albums we've listened to in May, where it's just, you know, I think very much trading on vibes with what they do. My favorite here has got to be Who You Are. I think you mentioned the kind of fat, chunky, spacey synth, which is kind of really almost pulverizes your ears and your bones when you listen to it with your headphones. The musicianship on that particular track is excellent. And yeah, there's plenty of other highlights like Mama Say, which has been mentioned. Dance in the Rain, I think it's a great closing track. I thought it began a bit like 212. And yeah, like, you know, the lyrics aren't ones which you have to particularly find hidden meanings. They're saying it how they are. It's coming from the heart, and they're backing it up with an awful lot of interesting and varied instrumentation. And I like, you know, there's certain albums you listen to which makes you want to see them live, because you get the inclination live might be the best way to consume what they do. And I think what you were saying, Karl, basically endorses that feeling, and that's where I feel I am with Ibibio Sound Machine. And when I do see them on the next lineup at a festival I go to, I will be keen to check them out, as long as I don't clash with another band I particularly want to see. But yeah, it just you know, like you guys, no bad tracks, some better than others. Eno Williams's voice is very good throughout. I actually thought on them say that her voice sounds a bit like Skin from Skunk and Nancy in that particular track. There's a bit of a Daft Punk style outro. So yeah, there is that kind of blurring a little bit with Flaming Ghosts and some of the musical similarities. But yeah, a lot of variety. And yeah, I don't think you can really not listen to this without, you know, it making you smile or just feeling a bit invigorated through giving it a shot. And yeah, certainly an enjoyable entry for the pod in what's been a pretty good month. So there we go. Three of us all, yeah, very pleased with Pull the Rope.